In FIFA 13, Mario Balotelli was 83 overall with 90 potential. Fast forward 12 years later and Mario Balotelli is now just 74 overall. Today we save Mario Balotelli's career, and of course here he is at 33 years of age, coming in at 74 overall. Training is definitely needed to get Mario Balotelli back to his best. Kicking off our first game of the season with Genoa, and of course we do come up against Inter Milan. Coming on as a substitute, Mario Balotelli almost scored his iconic free kick with an unbelievable strike, just missing, although later on Mario Balotelli would actually get involved, managing to get through, breaking the Inter Milan team and actually scoring to make it 2-1 here for Genoa. Unfortunately though, later on they would get a penalty. Of course, Lautaro Martinez stepping up and equalising the game at 2-2, which is how the game would actually finish. And Mario Balotelli walks away with a very decent 8.2 match rating. Second game of the season was up against Monza, of course still being used as a substitute, and it was almost a great start for Mario Balotelli with a lovely ball through to him, getting on to the end of it, although he could just not get a shot off. And yet again, another chance here, managing to get through it again. This time it was saved by the keeper, although later on Mario Balotelli would get involved, passing inside again, and getting a goal here to make it 1-0 for Genoa. Mario Balotelli, of course, very involved in that build-up, and we would go on to win that game at 1-0, and Balotelli would walk away with a decent 7.5 match rating. Third game of the season, and Mario Balotelli has found his way into the starting 11, and that game would be up against AS Roma, and it was not a good start for us as David absolutely destroyed our defence before chipping the goalkeeper very early on to make it 1-0 for AS Roma. Thankfully though, Mario Balotelli would answer back. He had a nice ball inside and he did finish it pretty good, of course, to make it 1-1 here for Genoa, managing to save the draw as the game did finish at 1-1, and Mario Balotelli walking away with an unreal 9.1 match rating. 5 games into the season now, and Genoa are currently sat in 8th place, and Mario Balotelli at the age of 34 is still growing in his overall as he is up to a 75, and Mario Balotelli getting involved, 3 goals in 8 games. Halfway through the season and Genoa have dropped down a little bit into 10th place. Balotelli is now up to a 76 overall, of course a +2 on the start of the season, and it's been a great first half of the season for Balotelli as he is walking away with 10 goals and 1 assist in 21 games. Finishing the first season now, and Genoa have managed to finish in 8th position. Unfortunately, we did get knocked out of the Coppa Italia in the round of 16, losing to Napoli, although we did put up a good fight, and Mario Balotelli is now up to a respectable 78 overall, and what a season it has been for Mario Balotelli. 41 games played, 22 goals and 5 assists is pretty unreal, to be fair. Mario Balotelli just finishing 2 goals behind the top goal scorer in the Serie A. And with a departing David, AS Roma have come calling. So season number 2 starts off with Mario Balotelli getting a big move to AS Roma. Starting the season off, and we were straight into the starting 11 up against Parma. It was not a good start as we did concede a penalty, and they did score the penalty, of course, making it 1-0 in the 40th minute. Mario Balotelli would answer back though, bursting through the defence before smashing it into the back of the net, of course equalising at 1-1. And later on Mario Balotelli would find himself through yet again, this time just making it look way too easy, getting past the defenders and placing it into the back of the net, making it 2-1 for Roma. Unfortunately though, that would not be how we won the game, as it did get a late equaliser in what was a very horrible goal to make it 2-2, which is how our first game would finish, although it was a very good start for Mario Balotelli. Halfway through the season now, and Roma are actually sat joint top alongside Napoli, and the Europa League is not going too bad as we are sat in 7th place. And Mario Balotelli, now at the age of 35, is up to an 80 overall, and Mario Balotelli getting involved this season, 9 goals and 4 assists in 27 games. We did make it into the final of the Coppa Italia, managing to beat Empoli, Fiorentina and Atalanta in the semi-finals. We also made it into the Europa League final, beating tough opponents in Osasuna, Bruges and Chelsea. First up, and we would of course have the final of the Coppa Italia up against Sassuolo, and we started strong. We had a nice corner in, it was deflected out to Raum into Paulo Dybala, and Paulo Dybala finessing it into the top corner to make it 1-0 early on for Roma. Mario Balotelli would get involved later on, a nice ball through from Paulo Dybala, skinning his man and of course putting it into the back of the net, making it 2-0. Mario Balotelli would also grab a brace, nice ball over the top, and a little bit of luck here Horrible defending from the defender, as he did, of course, make it 3-0 for Roma. They did manage to get a consolation goal with a nice ball through the middle, slotting it into the back of the net, of course, making it 3-1. However, that would be how the game would end as we pick up our first trophy for Mario Balotelli. Into the Europa League final now, where we face Stuttgart, and it would be a nice little start from Mario Balotelli. Nice pass inside, and of course, he was always going to finish that to make it 1-0 for Roma. And later on, he would get involved yet again. This time, a nice little solo run through the middle, skidding his man, and of course, smashing it into the back of the net, making it 2-0 here for Roma, as of course he would pick up the victory at 2-0 as we secure another trophy for Balotelli. Finishing the season now, and Roma have just missed out on the Serie A trophy by 3 points to AC Milan, as we have finished in second place. We did of course win the Coppa Italia though, beating Sassuolo 3-1, and of course winning the Europa League, beating Stuttgart 2-0. And Mario Balotelli now up to an 83 overall, back up to his overall in FIFA 13. And what a season it has been for Mario Balotelli. 28 goals and 6 assists in 61 games has been a pretty insane season for him, of course, as well as winning 2 trophies this season. That means we are being called up to the Italy national team to prove ourselves at the World Cup. First game of the group stage, and we did come up against New Zealand, and we did manage to obliterate them 4-0 in our first game. Second game of the group stage, we did come up against United States, and we did actually lose to them 1-0. Last game of the group stage, and we did come up against Wales, and we did get another win, this time 3-1. Into the round of 16, where we faced Denmark, and we just about got through, beating them 5-4 on penalties. Into the quarter-final, where we would face Hungary, and we would beat them 2-1, Mario Balotelli scoring early on. Into the semi-finals, and we would have an extremely tough game up against France, and we did just about edge it, managing to beat them 2-1, again Mario Balotelli scoring very early on. And into the final, and I'm not gonna lie, I think we have got quite lucky here, as we are facing Ukraine in the final of the World Cup. Although Mario Balotelli has had an unbelievable career going to ridiculous teams, this could be the biggest game of his career. Ukraine on the attack here down this wing. It's just the 7th minute, inside to Dovbyk. Dovbyk gonna go for goals. Nice save. No, wait, what's he doing? Oh my word. It's only the 9th minute and we already find ourselves 1-0 down to Ukraine. Nice. Moise Kean here. He's got Mario Balotelli making a run. The defender misses it. Still Balotelli. You just can't get past his defender. Balotelli on the ball again. Here out wide to Bress. Intercepted. DiMarco up this wing. Come on, Balotelli is in a good little position here. It's not. It's defended. Wow, again, DiMarco up to Balotelli. He's defended. It's just... they're too good. Ukraine on the attack again. Dovbyk goes for goal. Donnarumma though with a big save just before the half. Italy are on the back foot. Oh, no way. Inside. Dovbyk goes for goal and Donnarumma could not get a good enough hand on it as they make it 2-0 just before the half. That is not what we wanted at all. There we go, half time, and we are 2-0 down at the minute. Balotelli through to Moise Kean. Balotelli making a nice little run here. Nice ball over the top. Balotelli touches it down incredibly, and Balotelli manages to put it into the back of the net. Game is back on, 2-1. Moise Kean, nice. Italy are somehow crawling back into this game. Balotelli through to Moise Kean, and Moise Kean manages to equalise the game at 2-2 in the 72nd minute. What a game this has turned out to be. Oh, no way. Ukraine over the top to Dovbyk in the 87th minute. It's not what we want. Thankfully, it's defended. Nice. Ravella here. We could hit them very strong on the counter-attack. They had, of course, that corner. Can we do anything with this, though? Ravella through to Fratesi. Fratezi's got Moise Kean making a nice run. Moise Kean goes for goal. And oh, my word. What a game this has turned out to be for Italy. In the 93rd minute, Moise Kean could have just grabbed the winner. And there we go, game over. I do feel for Ukraine as they started that first half incredibly strong, but we have managed to pick it up. And there we go, of course, another trophy for Mario Balotelli on the back of getting a move to AS Roma and winning 2 trophies there. Now up to a respectable 83 overall, managing to do arguably the best thing in his career in winning the World Cup in the starting 11 for Italy. I would say Mario Balotelli's career has been saved.